Crescentia Hubbard, and I am wanting to film this to start a YouTube channel that I really been wanting to do for a long time. I did start one, but I never kept it up. So I'm gonna make a lot of effort to do it this time. So my name is Crescentia Hubbard. I am a 38-year-old mother of two boys. I am a teacher, a certified teacher of pre-K through fifth grade. Um, and I'm making this video and the videos to come about my speech therapy journey. Okay, so a little background information is that I'm a teacher of 14 years. I was pregnant my last 2 years, and I felt like I really needed a change in my profession. Um, I've always been drawn to children and drawn to, nurturing children, nurturing children of all ages. So I have felt like that was my calling, to go into teaching and to teach children and to have fun with them. So I'm a nurturer at heart. I am a servant at heart. So um, when I go into the world, when I go into my profession, I am serving. I am serving those children. I am serving my community. So I did teach, got cut off. So I did teaching for, like I said, 14 years. And now I am thinking of transitioning my career because I feel like small group teaching and one-on-one teaching is best for me. I feel like I function better in small group, even though I've taught for those amount of years. I just never knew that speech therapy could be or speech language pathology could be an option for me until one of my co-teachers that I taught with this last year of teaching told me, she was, why didn't you consider speech therapy? And I was like, speech therapy? Not only was I interested in what she said, I also have a son that is autistic, and he goes to speech therapy. So I have seen speech therapists in action for maybe 2-3 no, actually 4 years now, since he's been going to therapy, when off and on, when I've taken him and been able to enroll and everything. So I looked up speech therapy. I looked up the information about what they do and how much they make, and I was like, oh, this is better than getting a master's in teaching, because master's in teaching in my state does not equivalent to how much you can make as a speech therapist. Okay, so I live in Georgia, and so I was like, yeah, this is a great idea. Not only am I going to transition into something that I think is a better fit for me, but it's probably going to help me with my child and help me with my to teach him, how to better communicate. So with all that said, that has been my journey. The last year and a half, I have been subbing so that I can get into speech language pathology school. Now, I had to go back and get prerequisites, and those courses were about, I think in total, about 10 courses. No, it was maybe about 9 or 10 courses. I can't quite remember all of them, but it was about nine courses that I had to take to even level up to being able to apply to the master's program. So I'm proud that I have done that, at least that much to get to this journey of becoming a speech therapist. So I've never said that out loud, that I'm proud. So I took that in just now. And so the next step was to apply to a speech language pathology school. And oh, now that was a challenge. I did research. I did a lot of research on what schools were available in Georgia. Turns out, not many at all. It was like maybe 3 schools. Okay, it was like Valdosta State University, Augusta State University, and University of Georgia, which I previously, during my prerequisite year, I applied to University of Georgia, didn't get accepted, and I also did I apply to Augusta? I can't remember if I applied to Augusta or not, but either way, I didn't get accepted. It would have been a journey for me to go from my hometown to UGA, which is 2 hours away, and I would have had to commute, with having to pick up my children from school, take them to school, and go to classes and commute 2 hours there and back. That would have been a mess. So I realize now that didn't work out for the best. So what I really ended up doing was, after I finished my prerequisites, well, during the end of my prerequisite year, I started to look up online schools. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, because I was taking online courses for my prerequisite classes. So anywho, so I looked that up and found out there were many schools that were online, but out of state tuition was, almost double what I could, just spend on a Georgia school. So that's not so great, but is it worth the sacrifice? I believe it is. So, so I looked up all these schools, found out there were like 2 or 3 that actually accepted all of my prerequisites and didn't ask for more classes. So the 3 I looked up, I started doing more in-depth research, calling those advisors and trying to talk and see if I fit that program, if that program fit me and my lifestyle. So I ended up with 2 on the application process called SITCAS. And so when I ended up with those 2, I kept debating. I was like, man, it's going to, might not even take me, because how competitive these programs are. Like, they are highly competitive to get into. A GPA has to be high. Your personal statement, which is like an essay that you submit to them, has to be on point. It's so many different factors that play into whether you can get accepted into a program or not. And I was just like, man, I may not make it. So I started thinking about becoming an SLPA. I know this is a long story, but I'm trying to do this introduction thoroughly. So I started looking up information about how to become a SLPA, because I was like, well, even if I don't go into master's program, maybe I can start out as a SLPA and then eventually get into grad school. So tried to go that route. Turns out that I had to go and get a bachelor's degree for communication science disorders, which would have been a second bachelor's for me. And so I was like, okay, let me look into this. Let me get into it. I got into a school, and then I asked the advisor to give me a layout of the classes that I would need. I was like, man, this is not going to take me but a year. Lo and behold, she sent me back a list of classes and said it would take me 2 years to graduate. And not only that I would also have to take some of the classes that I've already taken in my prerequisite courses over again, like phonetics. No, that was not the route that I envisioned myself going down. And I was like, I might as well go to get a master's degree. It'll take me the same amount of time. I make more money, and it'll be my original plan. So with all that said, I was like, okay. I prayed. I was praying the whole time, asking God to, direct me. So I actually ended up saying, okay, if I don't get in, whatever. But at least I would have tried, to get into grad school, my original plan, and do what I really set out to do. So I applied to one school because those schools application fees are like $200 per school. It varies school by school, but yeah, it's up there. So I think this one was like $150 though. So I applied to one school, and I had two on the list, but I said I'm gonna just do one right now. So I applied to that school, and within like maybe a week, I was talking to the advisor. That advisor has been really great, getting back in touch with me, back and forth, back and forth. And so I applied to that school. The advisor was going back and forth with me about what all the process would look like. And so anyway, he came back in touch with me maybe a week, and then he said, I have some great information for you. And by that time, I had also been looking it up on the computer on their website to see whether I had been accepted. And I saw before he even said anything that I was accepted. So I was super excited, and I'm still excited. I've really been like, is this real? Like, did I really get accepted, or is this a fake school? But no, I've done enough research to know that this is real. This is a real accredited school, and it's out of state, of course. But I'm gonna do everything I can to follow through with this admittance and to get started. So, grad school is a lot of money, of course. So one of the downfalls of getting into grad school is that I'm going to have to pay back student loans. Yeah, that's a given. So, but the experience I'm going to get, the knowledge I'm going to obtain, I feel like it's worth it. This journey that I'm taking, I feel like it's worth it. So I'm going into this with prayer, with knowledge, with determination, to get through and to learn and to grow and to be the best speech language pathologist I can be. Now, this program to me is like equivalent to becoming like almost like a doctor, because you have to learn so much and prepare so much, and it has so much medical information, medical concepts that you have to learn and understand and be able to teach. Because when I become the pathologist I'm trying to be, I want to be able to teach what I have learned. So, with all that said, yeah, that's my introduction. I'm hoping to keep this going, to keep putting more content on this page, and maybe it'll help someone later on down the road. So, with all that said, I hope you watch. And even if no one watches, I feel like this documentary is going to be fun for me personally. So, peace, and till next time.